Japan is legally restricted from forming an army. However, it has a military force known as the Japan Self-Defense Forces, JSDF. To understand the story of this force, let's set aside Japan's modern advancements and rich traditions and go back to the beginning of the 20th century. During this time, Japan's existence was heavily focused on its military, which defeated Russia and invaded the Korean Peninsula. Japan participated in both world wars. In World War I, 1914 to 1918, Japan emerged victorious and became the strongest power in East Asia, extending its influence to Manchuria and Mongolia, which were conquered in the 1930s, as well as parts of China. This period was marked by brutal actions, including the massacre of Nanjing, where an estimated 300,000 people lost their lives over 6 weeks. World War II, 1939 to 1945, marked a significant shift in history. Historians consider Japan's actions during this war to be even more dangerous than those of Nazi Germany, with which it allied in 1939. Japan's brutality and the number of countries it conquered, including China, Hong Kong, South and North Korea, Myanmar, Vietnam, Thailand, the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, were unprecedented. The story reached a critical point in December 1941 when Japan attacked the American naval base at Pearl Harbor, prompting the USA to enter the war. The conflict culminated in 1945 when the US dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan, its victims being hundreds of thousands, leading to Japan's surrender. Then Japan adopted a peaceful constitution under the supervision of the United States. Article 9 of this constitution is particularly significant as it renounces war and prohibits Japan from maintaining military forces with the potential to wage war. In the 1950s, Japan signed several agreements stipulating that the United States would protect Japan through military bases, while Japan would maintain self-defense forces, JSDF, for defending its own territory. But why talk about the military now? A Forbes report stipulates that Japan cannot enter a war even if it wanted to because the youth eligible for the JSDF, aged between 18 and 26, number only about 11 million out of a population of 127 million. Most of the population is older and unwilling to serve due to the military's historical reputation. Nevertheless, and without constitutional reform, Japan had the 5th strongest military in the world in 2020. It circumvented the prohibition on possessing certain assault weapons by spending billions on naval weapons and advanced submarines. A final deal, estimated at $23 million, was made to buy 105 F-35 Ghost airplanes from the United States. This military buildup was driven by the emergence of China's military power and North Korea's nuclear capabilities, which provided an opportunity for Prime Minister Shinzo Abe to modernize and produce weapons since he came to power in 2012. This effort was further spurred after Donald Trump's sarcastic remarks in 2016 about the defense of Japan, when he said that if Japan were attacked, the US would fight for it while Japan would watch from a Sony television. In your opinion, does buying or developing weapons eliminate Japan's dependence on the USA?